flowers, birds, take your pick. Between 9 and 10 miles in on my first day. I'm telling you, the only thing that hurts on me is my cheeks. I've been smiling so much, it's amazing. So there's a word to the wise. A greasy omelet for breakfast on day one, not a good idea. Well, there went the omelet all over the trail. So the legs feel good, the feet feel good. As promised, it is hot. Just finished some really welcome trees. It has been a blistering hot afternoon. I'm a few miles out of Mount Laguna now. So I have just finished up day 3, and if I look beat, that's because I am. Just did a little over 23 miles today. It is so dry here that even the cactus look like they have given up, withered and gone. Welcome to sunrise of day 5. I'm north of Scissors Crossing. Body's holding up, my goodness. End of the day, my feet tell me I am absolutely done. And I can't believe that by morning everything seems to be ready to go. Left camp about 5:30 this morning. Did 15 or 16 miles or so to get to Barrel Springs. And I don't know what they put in that burrito that I ate in Jillian, but man, it must have been superfood. I have felt great all day today. So I decided to make my stop at Barrel Springs fairly brief. I'm going to go ahead and press on to Warner Springs and see if I can get there before the post office closes. Make a brief stop at this Eagle Rock. I think it's kind of an obligatory photo stop. I only made one other stop, the obligatory 100-mile stop or mark, one of the 4 that are marked on the trail. Close enough. So man, I have absolutely felt fantastic today, and hopefully pushing on for a few more miles doesn't ruin that, but should just be a mile or so away from Warner Springs. Great big oak, really pretty. Nice to have a bit of shade at the end of a long day. So I made the 25-mile push yesterday to get to Warner Springs and get to the post office. Got my box, sent a few things home. Chief amongst those was those lenses from Moment. I like the wide angle lens. I barely touched the telephoto. Both of them are just, they're too heavy, and ultimately once I get moving in the day, I don't like to stop, and so if I was stopping and monkeying with lenses, well then suddenly I'm doing photography, which I love, but I would get a little bit irritated actually with monkeying around with them. And at this point, shedding just about any pound I can shed feels like the right thing to do. The water report going forward is pretty sketchy. Things are supposed to be pretty darn dry. So I've got 6 liters on me now, and I'll try to keep it topped off. Even though it's heavy, I'll try to keep 6 liters on my back unless I have a really solid report that I can lighten that load up a little bit because there's water ahead. So I've been holed up here at Agua Caliente Creek since about 11 o'clock this morning. It's getting on towards 3:30 now. It's hot. It's dangerously hot up there on the trail. Nobody is moving up this trail. I've been here, so about 4.5 hours now, and nobody's come through. Yesterday, short day, about 12.5 miles with that long layover down at Agua Caliente Creek. And so coming up for that final 6 miles, let's see. Saw the meanest, nastiest looking rattlesnake I've ever seen. He was more red than anything else. I didn't know that rattlesnakes could be kind of more red in color. For a minute there, I was wondering if that's what he actually was a rattlesnake, but when he finally decided to give up the trail, there were those rattles as he slithered off into the bush. I love rock. Absolutely beautiful rock. It's amazing. Huge boulders. My kind of terrain. This is cool. So I'm about trail mile 134, 135. I found about a 3-foot square spot of shade to take a break. I'm about 13 miles in today. I stopped off at Mike's place to fill up with water, friendly, and the great water source. So I loaded up with about six liters of water and made a donation because it's a very welcome tank to have access to. So it's day 8. Did about 23 miles yesterday and stopped in amongst some great huge boulders to camp. That was pretty neat. Nothing on the camera is going to do it any justice. There. That ought to make you dizzy. I'm at about mile 163 and I am just getting creamed by the wind. Literally blown off the trail. So I am hiding under a bush at the moment. I'm gonna have to wait a little bit and see if this dies down. This is crazy. About 9 a.m. on day 10. Starting to work my way down out of the San Jacinto mountain forest. Big pine, beautiful. Yesterday I did about 7.5 miles to get to breakfast at the Sunrise, the Paradise Valley Cafe. A lot of people are just hitchhiking from there all the way up to Idlewild and skipping a section that butts up against a closed part of the PCT. I decided not to do that. Went ahead and hiked on up to that section. Glad I did. It's beautiful. Yeah, beautiful country. Downhills are not good on my left quad. Hadn't planned on staying in Idlewild last night, but the left quad was really unhappy with the downhill, and I've got a long downhill ahead of me right now, so we'll see how that goes. Working my way down out of the San Jacinto mountains, the valley way down below, with my left quad really unhappy about this downhill stuff, and I've got a long ways to get down to that valley floor. Such is the way it goes. I'm almost afraid to stop because I don't know if I'd get started again. That quad doesn't want to give up. Problem. You probably hear me grunt and groaning there. So it's Monday, May 14th. Bit of a slow start this morning. Came down out of the San Jacinto Mountains yesterday, and the afternoon was pretty rough. The left quad does not like the downhill at all, but it feels good now in the morning, so I feel good about the fact that it's not really torn or badly injured. It just seems to want to cramp up bad and won't release. So took a muscle relaxer. Feel okay. Got some various compensation soreness from trying to skip and waddle and duck walk, and God knows what I was trying to do to get some relief from the discomfort coming down. Long valley ahead of me to kind of get across. The interstate's out there. See if you can see in the background at all. I don't know. But anyways, fairly long, flat area. So a little bit of road walking at the moment to get down to the valley floor. Hopefully that'll give all the muscles a chance to kind of warm up without much pounding and jumping over rocks, that sort of thing. So mid-morning on the 14th. Left quad is feeling good. It reminds me that it's there every now and again, but it's not bad. Going through some pretty desolate looking stuff. I don't know if you can see the wind farm stuff in the background there. They make an eerie, weird whooshing sound. The Whitewater River, which is awfully welcome. Nice spot to have taken lunch, refill with water. Quite a bit of water ahead, so I get to travel light. It's about 14.6 miles to get here this morning. I made good time, and I'll probably do another 6 to 10. There's lots of water ahead. Apparently the trail follows a creek, so makes it nice, but nice and light. Woohoo! Mission Camp Spring. Last water source for, I think, around 16, 17 miles. So it's Tuesday, the 15th, I believe, about 11:20 in the morning. Hiked about 9.5 miles this morning to get up to Mission Camp Spring, which is where I'm just leaving now. The next reliable water is about 16.5 miles away. So I'm loaded up with water. I can feel that weight. Good news is I'm short on food, so I don't have to carry that weight. Now, I'm not sure if I'll do the whole 16 today. The left quad still objecting to being out here, especially in the afternoons. So see how it does. It prefers to climb than to descend. Getting better though. Not nearly as much hobbling as it had been. Still moving. So just around trail mile 244, a little over 8,500 feet. Sure wish I could bottle the smell. It is really something. It's been really easy trail since I left the Mission Spring Camp. Just nice and gentle, smooth, fast. Really nice high country stuff here. So I believe that Fire Mountain over there is where I came from yesterday, and that the valley down below there is the one I crossed. I believe that Palm Springs is off that direction. Puts it in some perspective. It's the morning of Wednesday the 16th. I've done about 6 or 7 of the 10 miles I need to do this morning to get to the highway, where I'll hitch on into Big Bear City, pick up a package that Sloan sent me. Thank you, Sloan. My hope is to get in, get my package, sort out the logistics of the next few days, go to the grocery store to supplement what's in the box, hopefully get cleaned up. Could really use some laundry done and a shower. I don't know if I can pull that off without getting a room. Prefer not to. My left quad decided to join forces with my right quad. Both of them were cramping up pretty bad, and the left calf didn't want to be ignored either. So by the time I hit the 25 miles that I did yesterday, I was pretty bound up. But this morning, feel fine. overall, I've been leaning on the poles pretty heavy, so my left hand and wrist aren't too happy about that, but making good progress and overall feel just fine. I just wish the big muscles of the legs, quads there, would get on board for the afternoons. Well, hopefully they will. Having to do a walk around outside of Big Bear Lake on a wide open gravel road. And this moonscape that you see around me is courtesy of a careless hiker. I can't remember if they said it was last year or the year before. A hiker had a campfire towards the beginning of June. Thanks a lot. This has been a unique little section of trail. It's almost as if it's landscaped. It's all these really fragrant plants and little shrubs with blooms. Really pretty. I haven't said that more than once. Maybe you can see the flowers. It is Friday the 18th, just about 7 a.m. and I am at mile 300. So it is Sunday, May 20th, and I'm at about mile 365. I started on May 4th, so however many days that makes. I'll be dropping down into Wrightwood here soon. I've got another 5 miles or so before I hit the highway, where I'll grab a hitch and get down there and finally get a shower. See if I can shave some of this scruff off. Feel human again. Things have gone well. I noticed when I was trying to patch together some of my previous video that it all kind of falls into the same pattern of, hey, it's morning, I have energy, things are good. Hey, it's the middle of the day, it's hot, but it's still good. And then either I'm really tired or nothing. So I kind of have to rethink what I do with video, kind of look at some highlight moments, maybe something like that. I have to keep it short. I haven't done any 0 days, so the amount of time that I've had to spend putting the video together and uploading it has been pretty minimal. I'll be getting a resupply package tomorrow morning. Thank you, Sloan. Changing out my shoes, which have worked really well. I made a last minute, as in a few weeks prior to this trip, changed from the Ultra Lone Peaks to the Ons, which is a shoe out of Switzerland that I use for running, and nobody has it out here, but it is working really well, so maybe I'll make a separate video about that. I've certainly learned an awful lot, had some memorable experiences, made lots of little adjustments, had to completely rethink my food strategy and change up what I carry. Some of the stuff I had was just simply too darn heavy, and in the heat I found I just couldn't even choke it down. So lots of little changes. For the most part, the things that I decided to bring with me have worked out well.